uh, right? And second part is to share it with you so you can have it. I would be unmute and you guys will be on mute. And there is a reason for that, because in previous webinars, I get a lot of weird sounds in my during the webinar. All right. So just to avoid that, whenever you have any questions, I'm keeping you on option where you can unmute yourself and ask that questions. Please do follow that. All right. Now, the other thing is try to be on camera. I love to see people, not my own face. So please take care of that part also. So let's get started. To understand what is a gatekeeper mindset, he recognized only three people: authority, familiarity, and curiosity. Most important thing: authority, familiarity, and curiosity. Authority is the person who sounds big. It's as simple as that. Over the phone, who sounds big, who sounds important, they easily let them through, no matter what the agenda of the call is. It's very simple. All right. Second is familiarity. The person, they know that, okay, decision maker will know them, and then they let them through. It's very simple. Or curiosity. You can say something which creates curiosity, which sounds important or which sounds new, they let you through. It's as simple as that. So note down these three words and remember it. It's either authority, it's either familiarity, or either curiosity. If you don't fall into these, your call will be left out. Now, most of the time what I have seen, and I also used to do it a lot, whenever it comes to cold calling and we start calling decision makers and we talk to the reception, the first thing that happens is we start sounding like a salesperson. Hi, I'm calling from this company. This is regarding this product. Can I talk to this person? Now you don't fall into authority category. You don't fall into familiarity category. You don't fall into the curiosity category also. So you have been left out. So how to adopt these techniques in your sales pitch? Before that, couple of tips for you guys. I'm gonna go very fast, but sometimes some of the people don't know this. So just to make sure, don't be aggressive with gatekeepers. They have a job to do. Be respectable. Don't sound like a salesperson. Now, when I say don't sound like a salesperson, I'll talk about it more, but this is the biggest problem that we have. I had it for 2 long years and it resulted in 0 results. I used to dial 100, 120 calls and I used to get only 1 inquiry, 2 inquiry. That's all. That's the kind of life it was for me. And it's because of this reason. Don't read scripts. Now, I know you don't read scripts, but you sound like scripted. So never be sounding like scripted. Don't sell to gatekeepers. Don't try to pitch it to gatekeepers. It's of no use. That's not their job. So more you try to sell to gatekeepers, the more it creates a problem. Don't get too personal with gatekeepers. Start asking, how are you doing? How was your day? And all those kind of stuff. It's going to only backfire because they are very busy people. They take 100, 150 calls a day. Remember, and most of them are sales calls. Next is, what kind of mindset is required in cold calling? First of all is aim high. And I'm going to talk about it in a moment. It takes a lot to reach to a decision makers, and you should have that kind of mindset. Speak with confidence. Very important. Because most of the time, most of the salespeople, I train many corporates, half of their salespeople fumble. This cold calling is like a movie, and you are an actor. You have to deliver a dialogue, and that dialogue has to be delivered with such perfection that people believe in it, that you're not acting, you're real for that. So that is very, very important. Speak with confidence. A lot of practice you have to do about your pitch. Be direct, be specific. Very important. I'm going to discuss all these points, but I'm going to go kind of just give a heads up here. Be prepared, which means a lot of preparation would be required. And practice makes it perfect, and never give up, which means when you're talking to the decision maker or when you're talking to the gatekeeper, most of the time you face rejections. And what most of the people do is they just go ahead and leave it over there and try it after a month. It's not going to get you any success in that. So before I start discussing all these points in details, let's talk about a little bit on language also, because most of the time I have seen the language we are using is very transactional language with gatekeepers, which doesn't work. So the kind of language which really works with people is when you sound like you're asking help from them. Maybe you can help me. I was wondering if you can help me. Help is the most important and most successful word in terms of crossing gatekeepers. I was wondering if you can help me with, I'm not really sure who should I talk to. I was wondering if you can help me with that. Could I really ask you a quick favor? Could I really ask you a quick help? This is the kind of language that works in cold calling, gatekeepers, very important. And two other words other than help would be please and thank you, which should be like rolling out of your tongue a lot of time. Please, could you do that? Thank you so much. I'm asking you a lot. And this kind of language is very, very important. And people who are logging in from India, let me tell you, I have seen very few people using it. So this is not a part of, and especially when we are doing international calling, we don't use it a lot. So please do that. That's very, very important. All right, everyone. So that was a quick introduction. As I said, I'm not going to take much time and I'm going to make it really, really useful for you guys. So here starts the process, strategies for success. Now, this is the time, if you're watching anything on YouTube or anything, keep the phone down and focus. So what are the strategies for success? One is be selective in choosing the leads you're calling. Now, it happened to me also, and it happened to a lot of people, those who are into cold calling, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you are a salespeople. You either download a database from Google, or you get it from company, or rent it or buy it from a company, some other companies who are selling it. Or what we do is company gives us this database and we start calling that. Now our effort is in terms of dialing the number of calls. And that is a mistake in cold calling. It's not about the number game. Even if you dial 100, 200 calls, if there is no quality in your cold calls, what will happen is you will only have 1 or 2 inquiries or appointments. This game is all about quality of conversation. Quality of conversation that you have with gatekeepers, quality of conversation you have with decision makers, which means it takes some time to prepare for a lead. And to make that preparations, you should have some time, which means you should be dedicating 1 hour before your shift starts to do research and collect all the information that is needed to crack that deal. So which means you have to be very selective in terms of accounts you are going to touch upon today. Every day, let's say you take 20 accounts, 30 accounts, 50 accounts that you're going to call. Don't go with large volume. Don't go with random accounts. Choose very wisely and focus on that, because this game is all about talking to decision maker. What gets you result is when you talk to a decision maker. And it's not easy to talk to a decision maker. You will have to try multiple strategies to reach that guy. And for that, you should have time, you should have patience. And for that, you should have, you should create some time for yourself. So be very selective in choosing the accounts, because you will have to try multiple calls in a day at multiple times. There are multiple strategies I will give you. And for that, you should have time. Remember, the only guys who have been successful in cold calling are the guys who don't give up, which means they make it a goal. They make it their, let us say, we call it like it becomes their passion, that somehow I have to talk to this decision maker and I'm not going to give up unless I talk to him or her. So if that has to happen, you should have some time and you should be very choosy with your accounts. All right. So please remember, the first tip for you is select limited accounts and focus your energies on them and make it a goal that you want to talk to this decision maker. Unless you hear a yes or a no from decision maker, you won't give up on this account. So it should not be like random. Today you called, then after 15 days you're calling again. He will never be reachable. It's never going to happen. All right. So cold calling is an art and it requires a lot of efforts. And for that, we make money. And if you really are serious about making money, then you need to be very choosy about your accounts. So let's go second, be an authority. Now, authority is the one that gets attention from people. An important person is the one who gets respect, which means whatever they say, people listen and do. And authority is the one that gets time from gatekeepers, from decision makers also. So you have to adopt authority verbal mannerisms. And these are only three: tonality, introduction that you do, and the flow of the conversation. If these three things are fixed, you can sound like an authority over the phone, and that would do a lot of good for you. And not just in cold calling, in overall sphere, all spheres of life, you will have an advantage to it. Because as I said, authority gets attention, respect, and time. Look in your house, look at your relatives. Not all relatives are same. Some are very important to you, where you make all your schedule changes for them, home changes for them, and treat them with utmost respect and attention. Other relatives, you don't even care. Some of my relatives, when they come, I'm out of the house. All right. I don't want to even see their faces. So that's how it is. Important people always get attention, time, and respect. So let's start with tonality. What kind of tonality you have? And this is one of the biggest mistakes that I've seen people do in cold calling. As soon as they call and talk to the gatekeeper, and especially when we are doing international calls, where we are talking to a foreigner, there is an automatic pleasing tone that we adopt. To give you an idea, something like this: "Hi Jane, my name is Rebecca. I'm calling you from ABC Private Limited. I'm calling regarding our customer engagement solutions." So you can see there is a pleasing tone that I automatically adopt, which is a very wrong tone, because it is a straight away indication that it's not an important person, it's not an important call. So what you want to do here is you want to adopt a very flat tone. Now, flat tone is difficult, but you have to get it. So to give you an idea, if you have to say the same thing and you say, "Hi Jane, my name is Rebecca. I'm calling from ABC Private Limited. I'm calling regarding this." A little bit of bass, a little bit of flat tone, and you start to sound like a senior, experienced, important person. And as soon as that signal goes to gatekeeper, they automatically start treating you like that. Which means even if they have to say no to you, they will say no with utmost respect. It will not be like, "No, he's not interested. No, please call back later," or simply drop the phone on you. That kind of things will not happen. So adopt a flat tone, authoritative tone. The next part is introduction. And especially in India, nobody pays attention to this part. Sometimes, have you noticed how you introduce yourself? Give me a yes or a no if you have paid attention to that. Because most of the people, how they introduce themselves is, they're saying, "Hi, this is Amit from XYZ company." That is their introduction. Some people try designations with it. "Hi, this is Amit. I'm a sales manager," or "I'm let us say a CEO of these things," and they think that will make it sound like an authority. Designations do add some value, but it's not totally changed the game. So what we need to do is, rather than going with a standard introduction like, "Hi, my name is Rebecca. I'm calling from ABC Private Limited," a slight change will make you sound a lot more authority. Something like, "Hi Jane, it's Ram, customer engagement specialist from ABC Private Limited." Some sort of consultant, some sort of specialist word you need to use. Now, these kind of things communicate a lot about your authority, because that's how authority talks. All right. For example, best example is doctors. You go and talk to any doctor and they'll say, "I'm a surgeon, I'm a bone specialist." They add this to create that authority impact. And that's where this strategy comes from. So always use specialist, expert, and consultant kind of words in your introduction and make it short. Because you don't want to spend more time over there as well. So that's tonality and introduction. Third part is the reason of the call. And 99% of people, those who are struggling in cold calling or passing the gatekeepers, are because of this reason. So something, when you call someone, you have to give a reason for the call. And the reason for the call is so generic that nobody is interested in that. To give you an idea, if I say, hi, to give you an idea of a very general introduction and a general reason for the call, most of the people will say, hi, sir, this is Amit calling from XYZ company. I'm calling regarding my CRM solution. I'm calling regarding customer engagement solutions, or we are offering customer engagement solutions. These are the words they use. And that's very generic. It doesn't make you sound like an authority. Authority calls for big reasons. And how do you make that big reason sound? First of all is if you talk to them about their problem. Let's say a big problem. I'm taking a CRM example here to explain it. What you can do is, for a reason of call, either you can talk about their problem, make a problem statement, and people are hooked. Or you can make a value statement and people are hooked. Or you can make a highly complex statement. This is another interesting pattern. If you say something complex and I don't understand, then what I do, I simply let you through. Because I don't want to get involved into it. It's not my cup of tea. That is how human psychology works. Because remember, these gatekeepers, receptions, they're not highly qualified people. They're 12th pass, maybe some degree, but not a IIM or IIT or stuff like that. They're simple, reasonable people. And if you use high, big words, it gives a feeling it's not my cup of tea, and they let you through. So make a problem statement or a value statement or a complex statement, and be specific. Avoid general words and general statements. And reason for call is always a one-line statement. To give you an idea, what is a general statement looks like in terms of if you are selling a CRM solution, it's like we are providing CRM solutions or we are providing customer engagement solutions. These are generic examples. Now, problem-specific example will be like we are helping customers with generating more customer inquiries or helping them solve their customer inquiry challenges or lead generation challenges. Now that becomes a problem statement. And as soon as, now what happens in company, if you are facing, let's say Gauri is the CEO of the company and they are facing lead generation challenges. She will discuss with her manager, even it will reach to the gatekeepers also, that this problem is going on in the business. So as soon as they hear those words, they themselves become interested to pass on, because they know these are important things for the business. These are important things for Gauri, who is the decision maker. So they would not like to stop that call. And how you can do that? If you use a problem statement with which decision makers as well as gatekeepers connect. So the reason for my call, or I'm calling for, let's say I help companies with the lead generation challenges and those kind of things you say. That's problem statement. Let's talk about value statement. What is a value statement? Value statement is the results that you deliver. All right. So for example, you can say, I'm calling to help you, help companies like yours to improve their sales revenue. Now, when they hear the word sales revenue, they know it's something important. Everybody keeps talking about it. Let them pass through. Or you can use a very complex statement. For example, with respect to CRM, you can say, I'm calling to improve the client churn rate. Now, no matter what, reception will not understand this. I'm calling to improve the sales linearity issues, or I'm calling to discuss deal slippage challenges. And when, as I said, people hear something which is very complex to them, they would not like to get involved in it. What they will do is they will simply think it's very important and they will simply pass you through. So these three things should be in place. Let me just do a quick recap. Number one is you have to be very selective in choosing your accounts because you need to do a little bit of research on them. You have to be an authority. Authority comes with the tonality, introduction, and flow. Introduction and tonality I talked about. The next part is the reason for the call, and I told about that as well. Let's move on and talk about, okay, this is the preparation you have done. You have prepared yourself in terms of tonality, in terms of introduction. You have got a reason for call also. Now, how do you cross gatekeepers when you talk to them? Now, the number one strategy is leading the gatekeeper. Now, typically, the mistakes I made and the mistakes I see people making is when they talk to the gatekeepers, they talk with an idea that I want to talk to the decision maker. And for that, they will say, hi, let's say you're talking to Rashmi, the gatekeeper. You'll say, hi, Rashmi, this is Amit. I'm calling from XYZ company. We are providing customer engagement solution. This is our CRM. A lot of companies are using it, like Infosys, Accenture, and those kind of companies are using it. I want to talk to Rebecca regarding this. This is their typical sales pitch. Now, what happens is they are trying to reach decision makers, discounting gatekeepers. What you can do is you can ask leading questions to gatekeepers and get the information, and that will help you go to the decision makers. Now, the first example of it is, let us say you call Minal. Minal is the gatekeeper. And let us say you are selling MRI machines that are used in hospitals, and you're calling hospitals gatekeepers. So you can ask, hi Minal, it's Ravi here from ABC Private Limited. Do you currently look after the MRI machines, purchase and upgrade? Like you're asking direct questions to a reception. Do you currently look after it? Are you in charge? Are you in charge of MRI machines? She will have to say yes or no. Most of the time, the answer would be no, because she's a reception. Then she will say, no, I'm not the in charge. It would be Mitali or it would be someone. And then you say, okay, could you please connect me to Mitali? And don't stop there. Because remember, one of the fear of gatekeepers is that I don't want to pass on unnecessary calls and waste decision maker time or make her angry or, those kind of things. So what you want to do over there is you want to make an additional statement which will take off her fear. So you will say, could you please connect me to Mitali? I would quickly confirm from her. Quickly is a very important word here. I will quickly confirm from her if she is interested in upgrading the current MRI machine, and drop off. Drop off is the another key word over there. Now, what this will do is that will take the fear away. It will give an impression, oh, it's a quick call. He just want a yes or no. Let him pass through. He'll not waste time. And that's it. So you have given a reason. You have confirmed that it's a short call. I'm not going to waste anybody's time. And after that, I'll quickly drop off also. So it takes the burden, the pressure of sending an unnecessary call to decision maker off their shoulder. And once it is off, they feel more comfortable transferring it. Another example we'll take, let us say you are selling some sales forecasting services or marketing services. You can ask questions, something like, hi, Jillian, would you happen to know how you guys are forecasting your sales at this time? Now, if you ask these kind of leading questions to gatekeepers, they will say most of the time, no, I don't know, I'm not sure. And you can ask, who should I talk to? And then you can say, okay, could you please connect me to him or her? I will quickly confirm if they need something like this and drop off. Now, this kind of things are easy to sound when I say it, but it would require a lot of practice on your end. And that's why I said this game is a lot of practice game. Another example for leading questions, let's say again, you're selling MRI machines. You can ask in another way the same questions. Do you currently have MRI machines in the hospital? Hey, Shelly, do you have currently MRI machines in the hospital? She will say yes. And you can say, are you planning to change or upgrade it currently? Whatever she says, you have an answer for that. If she says no, then you ask, did we consider it buying it recently or in the past as well? There will be a yes or no questions. So what you do is in the end, you say, okay, no problem. Whatever the answer is, who should I speak to regarding this? I just want to see if they would be interested in changing it. I'll quickly get a yes or no and drop off. Fantastic. So these are some of the leading questions that you can ask. Now, one more thing is there. Some of you might ask, I'm recording this webinar. I'll share it. I'll share this PPT also with you. Okay. So it's like you guys are the Dulhan and this is the Dahej. I'm going to all pass it on to you. So don't worry about that. All right. Now, how many got that joke? Because some of you people are logging in from outside the country also. Let's see. Give me an idea if you got this joke. Okay. I made this webinar free for this purpose. So I can crack this pathetic jokes and you don't throw a brick at me. Okay. Because you know the webinar is free. All right. So moving on, these are the leading questions you can ask. Now let's talk about the second part or second strategy you can deploy, which is familiarity. We talked about it. So there is authority, there is familiarity. Now in familiarity, what do I mean by that? If you can give an impression to the gatekeepers that you know that other person on the other side, then it becomes really, really easy, isn't it? Because if gatekeepers get that impression that, okay, you know them, you know the decision maker, they cannot take a risk of blocking you. Because if you try to manage to reach through email or LinkedIn or any other source, and if decision maker is really angry, it could lead to a job fire also, or it could lead to a scoldings also, which gatekeepers would not like. So that is why if you could establish that part of familiarity, it happens. Now, give me an idea. Let me ask you before I move on. Okay. My friend Forum, thanks for that emoji. Now, let me ask you these questions. What are the different ways you know that you can establish familiarity? Give me an idea. Type it in the chat box and give me an idea. All right. At least I will know how many people are sleeping here. Troy, I remember you from previous webinar. Last time, your name, it was misleading. I thought you're logging in from outside India, and it turned out you're from Pune. Do I remember you that way? Is that correct? Pune or which city it was? Give me an idea. Type it in there. Okay, so everyone, take this question and type birthday, company anniversary, greetings, Mr. Prasad. Yeah, some of them are, yeah. In fact, everything is important here. Major achievements, very good. Sourcing decision maker's name, that's Subiksha. That is why I love girl power. They're so intelligent and they're so spot on. Subiksha, thank you so much for that. Sourcing decision maker name, that is the first rule of familiarity, and we're going to discuss it now. Awards and recognitions, promotions. Hi, James, can you please connect to purchase manager, Mr. Joy? Okay, now, since you mentioned it, Naveen, most of your statement is right, but in cold calling, we don't use the last name. Mr. Joy is not the right thing, because as soon as you say Mr. Joy, she knows you don't know, and she knows you are a salesperson. So you always use the first name. I will say something like this. Can I talk to Mark? Rebecca wasn't going to have a conversation with me and I haven't been able to reach her. Rebecca was going to have a conversation with me and I haven't been able to reach her. Can you connect me, since we were supposed to be having a conversation now? Pretty good. See, that's why I love girl power. They're awesome. All right, let's dive into this thing. Naveen, by the way, your response was also good. So you are, against the competition of girls. You are keeping our hopes alive. Okay. Otherwise, these girls are leading by God. All right, let's go ahead and talk about familiarity. Now, in familiarity, the number one rule that comes is you should know his or her first name. And first name is the most important. All right. Now, what happens is, as soon as you say the last name comes with Mr., Miss, Mrs., and those kind of things, and it sounds too formal. And what happens is, it sounds like you don't know. So always, you don't know her. So familiarity rule is you should know the first name. So you should take an effort to go to the LinkedIn and find their first name. If you couldn't find it on LinkedIn, let us say what you can do is you can first make a call to the gatekeeper and you can say, hi, I'm sending a marketing report. Who is the head of the marketing? Can I have their name, please? And just ask the name and don't ask anything else. Get the name and then probably after a day, try calling them with the name. So having a name is very, very important. You can also figure out what is their city of birth, school or college. Many times it happens is we come from same city and now we are living in a different city and we can use that as a reference. You can use colleagues reference also. Now let's say Mr. Nehru is there. Now he is the owner of a company. In his company, there will be many employees. We can use those employees reference also. Now it's not necessary that we need to know them, because nobody is going to go and ask, hey, I got a call from Gauri today. Does Gauri know you? How does she know you? Nobody cares because it's a very small matter. So you can use, for example, Mr. Nehru, he knows, let's say Ramesh, who is his, let us say admin head or purchase head. I can use that name and I can call. And gatekeepers, I can tell that I have been referred by Mr. Ramesh. Can I talk to Mr. Nehru? So simple. She's not going to go and check with Mr. Ramesh whether you referred or something. Nobody has that kind of time. All right. So you can use colleagues reference. You can see what are the recent company changes that happened. You can also see, let's say Mr. Nehru, what kind of events he attended. Maybe he attended a webinar and he posted about that on LinkedIn. Maybe he attended any event in US and he posted about that. You can use that as a reference. You can use his recent achievement as a reference point. For example, Mr. Nehru just completed 5 years in his company. That becomes a very good reference. All right. Or he recently been promoted. And then you can just call and say, I'm just calling him to congratulate him. And then you congratulate and make a connect. Now, when you tell a gatekeeper that I'm calling to congratulate him for his anniversary and for his, let us say, recent promotion, nobody would like to stop you. It's a nice thing. For nice things, we don't stop. All right. So, and it gives a feeling that you know them already, you're tracking them, and you might be in touch with them before. That's how you know it. So all these things are very, very important. And that's why I said it will take a little bit of amount of research on a particular account. So be very selective in choosing the accounts you're going to call today. You can use common customer names. Now, this incident happened with me. One of our inquiry came for sales training. I went to their website and they had Infosys as their customer. Now, Infosys was my customer also. And I used that as a reference point. Okay, and it was one of my biggest customer. It was one of their biggest customer also. And every company knows that Infosys is a big customer for us. Even Gatekeeper will know. So when you use that as a reference point, they simply let you through. All right. It can be LinkedIn connections also. Let's say I don't know anything about Mr. Nehru. I go to his LinkedIn profile. I see what are the people common between him and me. I might not know that people, but there will be some common people that pops up. All right. Use that as a reference point. So anything can be used as a reference point to make a connect with the people. All right. So let me give you that script, how you're going to use it. But one thing is very interesting. We have about 50 people in here, 48, and all of them are staying. I mean, that's pretty good. You guys love me so much, or you have nothing else to do? What is the reason? Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the law of familiarity and how you can use it. To give you an example, use customer reference or LinkedIn common connection as reference. All right. You can say, hi, first of all, every time you're calling a gatekeeper, ask whether customer or decision maker is in the office or not. Because what happens is many times we don't ask this question and they simply end up saying, no, he's not there. After saying all the entire script. Don't let that happen. First, you confirm. Straight away, say, hi, is Jenny in office? or is Gauri in office? Now, when upfront you ask this question, they have to say the real information. Yes or no. Without any context you ask, they have to give the real information. But if you set a context first and they know it's a sales call, they're going to lie about it. So always ask this question upfront. Hi, is Jenny in office? Okay. So then you can say, hi, this is Amit. I'm calling from XYZ company. I was speaking to Wilson from XYZ company. This is a customer reference. I was talking to Wilson from XYZ company, and they asked me to speak with Jenny regarding upgrading their MRI machines. Could you please connect me to her? Now, what happened here is you have used a reference of an existing customer. This can be an existing customer reference. It can be a LinkedIn reference. It can be any other, let's say, colleague reference. If I'm calling Mr. Nehru, I'll say, hi, Mr. Nehru is in office. By the way, this is Amit. I'm calling from XYZ. I was talking to your operations head, Mr. Ramesh. He guided me to talk to Mr. Nehru regarding upgrading the MRI machine. Could you please connect me to him? Now, this entire sequence, the statements that you're going to make, it should be quick. You should not be giving any time for thinking her. What is your goal is to reach to that questions. Could you please connect me to her? Now, when I say quick, it should not be that you speak so fast that she doesn't understand anything. If she don't understand anything, the first reaction that comes out is block them. Okay. So it has to be clear, but the goal is to reach to that part where you say, could you please connect me to her? So don't give her time to think. Or you can use recent events attended by customer as a reference. No matter whether you were there in that event, you were not there in that event, you attended that event, you met that customer in that event, it doesn't matter. Gatekeepers, how she would know, how he would know. So don't worry about that. You just say, hi, is Jenny in office? I know her from XYZ event recently attended by her, and for her interest in upgrading the current MRI machine. Now, this part is very important. I know her from this event and for her interest. What you're trying to say here is that I already know that she is looking to upgrade the machine. And when that message passes across to Gatekeeper, it gives a feeling that you guys are already discussing. And then she will allow you through. So these kind of words, these kind of statements that I'm giving you, it's going to be very, very important the way you put it across. You have to create your script out of it, which strategy you want to use. Use one strategy first and see if it works for you before changing it. All right. Leveraging known people in the organization. You can say, I spoke with Michael James in legal, and now I'm trying to reach Mr. Nehru in the operations to discuss about the MRI machine and his interest for upgrading it. Or you can say, I plan to meet with James in legal, and before that, I would like to talk to Mr. Nehru as well to take his thoughts. So this also gives an impression that you are meeting Michael, and before that, you wanted to talk to Mr. Nehru and take their inputs also. So that also gives an impression, and these kind of things, Gatekeepers thinks that you are already in discussion with people and they would not like to stop you because it can become a problem for them. All right. And once they know that you know it already, you are having a discussion, it kind of reduces their resistance. Okay, now let's go to the next part of it, white lies. This is my favorite. Now, don't think I'm running a scam company here when you hear the word white lies. By the way, how many people know what is a white lie? Give me an idea. Let's see, before we end. Oh my God, we are running 5 minutes late. So I'm going to use that 5 minutes extra. Be with me. Okay, don't get angry. Don't get any, file any FIR against me. But give me an idea, what is a white lie? Gauri says she read everything and she gave the answer also. My question was simple. What is a white lie? Okay. Lie smartly, Mr. Mahindra. That's good. Safed jhoot. Amit, you gave me a translation of it. Okay. Lies with confidence, no. White lie is nothing. There are two types of lies, and one is a white lie. White lie. See, Mohit gave the right answer. which is not harmful, which is not going to harm anybody. All right. So in sales, we don't tell any lies which can really impact customers and their money or their business or their relationships with you. We only tell the white lies, which is innocent lies. For example, what you can do is you can send a mail to the customer first after getting their email address, and send a mail that, hi, we are offering a new MRI scheme, MRI machines for your hospitals. These are its features. And in the end, you can add, I'm going to call you at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock tomorrow to discuss this. And then you call the gatekeeper and tell them, can I talk to Mr. Nehru? We have a scheduled call for 1 o'clock. Now, what happens is she gets an impression that there is a scheduled call because you use the word schedule. And then once she transfers saying, let's say to Mr. Nehru, she will transfer saying, you have a scheduled call, and Mr. Nehru will ask, did we really schedule this call? He will ask you. I say, yeah, I sent an email to you and I confirmed it. That's it. And you continue with your conversation. All right. But this will quickly help you pass the gatekeepers. At the same time, it will not create a wrong impression, provided you have sent that email. But if you didn't send that email, then a lot of issues will happen. Don't do that. Now, if you don't want to do this heavy lifting of going to LinkedIn, finding people, finding connections, and all those kind of things, you want to keep it very simple and yet sound familiar to the gatekeeper, so they allow you pose as a known person. So let us say, Gauri, I'm calling Gauri, and gatekeeper or reception picks up the phone. Now, two people will call Gauri. One is salespeople who gives a standard script. Second is someone who are Gauri's friends or maybe relatives or known people. Now, those relatives, friends, known people, they don't have any script. They don't use any script. How do they call Gauri? They'll ask, hi, is Gauri in office? And reception will say, yes. Please let him know this is this side Amit here. They don't have a script. Now, this, what message it passes across is, without you saying it, as if you know Gauri. Most of the time it has worked, and it allows you gatekeepers to let you through. Sometimes those smart gatekeepers will ask you, do you have an appointment? All right. So now let's take a first scenario where you introduce yourself. You can say, hi, Snehal, is Richard in office? She will say, yes. Okay, please let him know this side, Amit, I'm calling from Chennai. That's how friends, relatives introduce. They don't have any script. So you can use that. All right. You can say, this is John from New York regarding the MRI machines. And she will think you know them already and you will pass them through. All right. Now, if gatekeeper says, no, do you have an appointment? Drop your guards over there. Don't lie. Just say, no, I don't have an appointment. And use the words please 2 times. One in the before, one in the end. Could you please transfer me to him, please? And say the second please that comes in the end in such an innocent way that he or she feels like doing it. Okay. Could you please transfer me to him, please? That's very, very important. So it will come with practice. Like I mentioned, it's a game of practice. It will really help you. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other strategies you can try. Now, many times it will happen is you will not be able to cross the gatekeepers. There are some very smart people sitting over there. They may not allow you. Then what you can do is you can try the top-down or bottom-up approach. What is top-down and bottom-up approach? Now, most of the time we do cold calling to speak to CEOs. But CEOs are hard people to reach, and gatekeepers are very careful in transferring calls to CEOs, obviously, because of obvious reasons. So what you do is, instead of targeting CEO, you might want to target managers. When you target managers, gatekeepers don't feel that much transferring the calls to them. So that's called top-down approach. Or you can start with bottoms up. You can talk to senior executive, let's say, and directly, let's say manager, and ask for it. So go one level designation down, 2-level designation down, 3-level designation down. Like that, you can try it. This is called top-down or bottom-up approach. Like I mentioned, success in cold calling is making sure that you talk to decision makers, for which you will have to try different things. So for that, you should be very choosy with your accounts. Second is call prospects colleague. Let's say the best one is, it is my favorite one. I call the admin department. Admin department, you know, these guys take care of all the water issues, stationery issues, these kind of issues. And they absolutely don't apply they don't have any concern of transferring the calls. You call that admin person, talk to their manager and say, I'm looking to talk to Mr. Nehru. It's regarding the MRI machines. They will, without thinking twice, they will transfer you, because it's not their concern. All right. So it's very, very important that you can talk to their colleagues and get transferred. Other thing is, try any other department. Let us say admin you can try, HR you can try. HR will transfer you. Because in IVR, instead of pressing that 0 for reception, press 1 for HR, 2 for admin, 3 for something else. Try those departments. Let's say, for example, Gauri is in HR. Now, if I call, Gauri will not inquire from me whether I have an appointment, what is it regarding, and all those kind of things. I will simply say to Gauri, I was talking to Mr. Nehru. It's regarding the MRI machines. Could you please connect me to him? By mistake, I got transferred on your desk. She will simply do that transfer. She won't ask you questions. Okay. It gives an idea to her. Okay, by mistake, you got transferred. Many times it happens, gatekeepers make that mistake. So it's like an innocent mistake, and she will put you back. Now, if nothing works, then your best friends are the sales team. Now, every company has a sales team number. Every company on IVR has a sales department. Is that right? Even a 1% or 2% company also have a sales person. Am I right or wrong? Give me a yes or a no. We are almost there. We are almost coming to a close, but I want to know if that is true or not. Absolutely, it's very true. Now, the best part here is nobody will understand your pain better than the other salesperson. Call them up and tell them that I'm trying to reach Gauri and reception is not allowing me. I've tried sending an email. She is not responding. Could you help me? And they will understand the pain, because they are also facing the same pain, and they will be happy to transfer you. If they, out of fear, don't transfer you, they will be happy to give the name, the number of the person you should talk to. And in the end, many times they have told me, Amit, I'm giving you this number. Please don't take my name. I said, I love you for that, and I will not take that name. So sales people will help you. But like I mentioned in the beginning, the goal is to talk to the decision maker somehow. Because unless you talk, there will not be a lead or inquiry or sales for you. And that's what you have to do in cold calling. Now, a couple of other things which totally avoids gatekeepers altogether. Call before or after hours. Now, most of the time, CEOs is the first person to enter and is the last person to leave. How many people agree to that statement? How many people are CEOs here? Just type yes. He is the first person to enter and the last person to leave. Let me see how many, how much pain comes out. Right. So what you can do is you can try, you can try calling a little early or a little late. Chances are that phone will be answered by the CEOs directly. And then you talk to them. That gives you an opportunity. Try social media. Very powerful platform. Now you can directly reach them through LinkedIn and initiate a conversation. I'll do a webinar on that also, how to use LinkedIn and generate inquiries out of it. Third thing is invest in contact database. I have a list of companies that sell database. I have a list of tools that, LinkedIn, Mr. Prasad is a very powerful tool. I'll do a webinar on that also. But to give you an idea, I will share that list with you guys of the companies that rent or sell database, which gives you the qualified information. What I mean by qualified information is name, as well as email, as well as sometimes phone number also, which is verified. So there are a list of companies that I have. I'll share it with you in the WhatsApp group and you can check that out. So these are some of the strategies that I've used, tried, tested, and has worked for me. All right. But it has only worked when you have the determination to go and talk to the decision maker and not giving up unless you get to talk to the CEO of the company. Only then you will have an inquiry, sale, revenue, incentive, growth, promotions, and success. That's how it happens. But if you are that kind of a guy who doesn't want to take this kind of pain, and you're a kind of a guy who gets a database of 500 companies and you just dial and ask the gatekeeper, can I talk to this person? And gatekeeper says no, and then you leave it and go to the next one, then trust me, you will always find yourself struggling. Then this domain is not for you. All right, because it takes a lot of determination, a lot of strategies, and that is the reason people find success. It is the biggest pain point for the companies. So if you find success in this as an entrepreneur, you have a growing company and you can create a team and train them and become big. If you are a cold caller, then you will have the fastest growth in the company, because this is one of the biggest pain areas for companies. So remember that, and that brings me towards the end. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just give you a quick idea on any questions you have so far before I move on. Please type in your questions over there. I'll be happy to answer. Meanwhile, give you an idea, next webinar I would be doing it is on how to master the need discovery in sales, the kind of questions you should ask using the SPI model. That will be my next webinar. So if you are not connected with us through WhatsApp group, please choose the WhatsApp group because that's where we first update the information. Let me share that WhatsApp group with you. Let me see if I can quickly pull that up. All right. It's with the name Sales Persuasion. So I'm sharing that link with you in the chat box while you type your questions. Just give me a moment. How do I go over there and get link? Yeah. There it is. I'm just going to share it. And put it in the chat box. Yeah, I got the link. So that's where it is. You can please join it if you have not already joined. That would be one. Now, second thing is, while I'll take up your questions, a quick information for you guys. Next week, I'm conducting workshops along with 4 different sales trainers with huge experience on cold calling, which is a 2-week course, online sales closing expert, which is a 4-week course, and LinkedIn experts, which is again a 2-week course. So if you're interested, you can join it. Let me share the link to it. And we are running some special offers also. We are taking limited people, only 10. And soon we will be closing the registrations. It starts next Thursday from 16th. Yeah, from 16th it starts. So here you can find all the information about the course and topics covered and all those kind of things on this page. And if you would like to be part of it, you can join over there. These are some of the special offers which we are closing on Saturday night. We also do a lot of programs for corporates, sales training primarily, nothing much. So far, we have served about 700 clients. We have a fleet of 20 trainers in all parts of the country. All right. So Delhi, Mumbai, everywhere we do these programs. So that was a little bit of information. More you can find it on my website. But let me take some interesting questions here. I'm going to go a little up and say, how about LinkedIn? Is it a paid one? A LinkedIn Selling Expert, it's a 2-week program. It's a paid one. What's app group number? I shared the link. Please check it out. Anyway, you're going to get it through email also. All right. If someone is trying to avoid meeting you, purchase manager, then what to do? If someone is avoiding you to meet you. Now, when you say avoid you, which means you try to talk to them and they are not showing interest. The simple reason for that is the reason that you have given them for meeting you is not strong enough. So I go back to the same point, the reason for meeting. What is the reason for meeting? For example, I'm meeting Gauri and I say, Gauri, I would like to set up a demo or a meet with you. It's regarding our CRM engagement solution. She won't be interested. Her time is so precious. She has so many things to do. But if you say, hi, Gauri, it's regarding our CRM solutions. If you are facing any lead generation challenges, I can help you double that, or I can help you get rid of the lead generation challenges and double your inquiries or your sales team productivity in just 2 weeks. Then she might be interested. So reason for call has to be specific, strong. There should be a problem statement in it. There should be a value statement in it. Both should come. Only then people will be interested in it. Otherwise, they don't. How do we prepare the mind of even a gatekeeper to receive my call? Because he or she is not obligated to receive my call. He or she is not obligated. Like I mentioned, all these strategies that I have given you, either you can showcase authority, then only they will transfer you, or familiarity, then only they will transfer you. Otherwise, there is no reason. WhatsApp group link is not available. What do you decide a lead is a cold? When do you decide a lead is a cold lead? Well, in cold calling, if you have spoken to decision maker and they said not interested, that's when you mark that lead as cold lead. That, okay, now probably after 3 months I will try again, or 6 months I will try again, because the decision maker himself has said no. What strategy should we apply when we are redirected to voicemails? Okay, I'm going to do another webinar on specifically on email and voicemails. So stay connected in WhatsApp group. You will get to know when it happens, because email is voicemail is a script in itself. I'll give you the script and I will explain you how to put it together. When is the session scheduled? Okay, if I didn't feel sick, or probably if let's say my wife is not angry, all is cool, and probably if I didn't fall in love, it will be next week. Okay. So all these reasons, sans, it will be next week. Otherwise, God knows. Okay. Yeah, it is going to be next week. I'm trying to do webinar every week now. All right. That is my efforts. But if some projects comes, or I have to pull myself into important clients, then it might be delayed. But to make it up for it, my team every week will produce a new ebook for you. Okay. In fact, you can mention it in the WhatsApp group that what kind of topics you would like that ebook on, and we can create ebook and give you that also. So if I'm not doing the webinar, ebook will come every week. And I will try to do one webinar every week on all these 3 things: cold calling, sales closing, and LinkedIn selling expert. All right, that would be my efforts. I hope that answers your question. Any other questions, everyone? All right, so that brings me towards the end of this webinar. What are the next steps once this session is done? Is there a learning pathway, especially for LinkedIn selling strategies? Like I mentioned, Chirayu, we are starting a LinkedIn expert course, which is a 2 weeks course, where we would train participants on 3 aspects of LinkedIn: how to build a powerful profile that attracts customers like a lead magnet, how to do outbound lead generation and sales generation, like when you send connection requests and you send messages, how to do that. And third thing, which many of you might be using, might not be using, but it's going to be a very big thing: how to use LinkedIn inbound strategies, like using the post, the events, how to make them go viral and get like hundreds of inquiries out of it every week. Can you post the link to access to register for paid courses? Sure, Mr. Prasad. Let me do that again. Just give me a moment here. There it is. I'll post it. People are still trying to, join the webinar. You guys dropped off by mistake from the webinar, or are you trying to join for the next one? Which one is that? Okay. So, still, all right. The links are not visible. I'm so sorry. I'm so stupid. You know what? I didn't check which options I enabled. I was sending it to waiting candidates message. I'm so sorry. I'm putting the WhatsApp group as well as this thing again. I apologize. Well, humans make mistakes and humans forgive. So you guys can forgive. You guys are nice people, isn't it? You're a very nice people. So you will forgive. All right, everyone. So that brings me towards the end of this webinar. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Just give me a yes or a no, so I know that you guys enjoyed it and there was something to learn. All right. Okay, people are still... okay, there is Rachna. Rachna, how are you? Thanks. It was really refreshing, awesome session. Like always, it's always delighted to listen to you. I hope it's a truth, Rachna. And yeah, good to hear from you. And it's always good to see you as well. I hope I could have you on camera, but yeah. I'm new to sales. How do I get the contact number of companies in the manufacturing sector? Even their websites don't have contact number. Okay, Vijay, like I mentioned, I will maybe tomorrow morning in the WhatsApp group, I will share the ebook where you will find the list of companies who are selling databases at a very reasonable price. Like for 4,000-5,000 rupees, you can get a databases of manufacturing companies, 10,000-15,000 contacts, including their CEO details. That is one. But before I leave, let me give you guys a tip, because you have been staying so long with me and you didn't shout. Primarily, it's because I have kept you on mute. That's very smart of me, But there is a place where you can get these databases. If you go to this website, mca.gov.in, this is the website, mca.gov.in. Now, I'm going to give you this secret to getting the contact details of the CEOs, but you need to promise me you will not put a complaint to Modi ji and get me arrested. All right? If I got arrested, I'm going to take your name as well. Now, here, all the companies that gets registered in India, you will find their contact details here. If you go to MCA services, data and reports. If you go to data and reports and you go to company and LLP information, you will reach a place where it says incorporated or closed during the months. So all the companies that got registered this month, you will have their database here. I hope you guys are able to see my screen. It's a big database and they publish reports with the CEO's email address also. Let's see, I am having trouble loading this page. Just give me a moment, everyone. Yeah, there it is. Now, what you can do is you can go back 5 years and get the list of all the companies that got registered. Now, I'm going to open this file. And it will take a moment to open because it's a very big file. And I just realized that we are well over 6 o'clock. So I'm going to charge you extra, guys, for this. All you need to do is put your bank account numbers in the WhatsApp group. Why do I need your bank account numbers? I need to post my bank account number and you need to transfer. All right. Yeah, it should be other way around. Otherwise, I will have to pay you money. No, I don't want to do that. I'm already running short of money. Okay. So these are the list of companies that get registered in every part of India. You have the states, you have the cities. Okay. You have the company names, when they got registered. It will tell you whether it is private, public. They will also tell you how much money they have paid during the registration. It gives you an idea whether it is a small company, like if it is 1 lakh investment, then they are small like me. Okay, they don't have any money. But if it is like big 1 crore, 10 crore like Gauri and Mr. Nehru, then they are big deals. Go after them. Okay. So, kind of idea whether they are small or they are big, you get an idea on that. The most important is couple of things. You get the category, whether it is manufacturing or retail or those kind of things. You get their physical address if you want to use postcards and stuff, and you get directly their CEO's email address. Okay. So you see, guys, Gauri, your name will also be there in the past reports, and your email will also be there. Okay. So you can take these and you can start your marketing campaign. The beauty of it is you can target them before your competition. Okay. So before the cheaper competition steps in, you can target them and start the conversation. All right. So that brings me towards the end of it. The website is, let me type it in, mca.gov.in. And if I got arrested, dude, I have this list of all the people. I'm going to take everybody's name. Okay. So lovely talking to you guys. I hope I have answered all the questions. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You have a blast. It's a Friday evening. Enjoy Netflix, chill, go out, have dinner, and have a great weekend ahead. Watch some nice movies or spend some time with the girlfriend or wife. Most importantly, your wife. All right. So I leave you to that, everyone. Have a wonderful time ahead, and I'll see you next week. Thank you. Thank you, Jignesh. Thank you, Sunil, Sandeep, Arvind. Had fun talking to you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Pratap. Sylvester, thank you so much. Sylvester Official. I'm a big fan of Sylvester Stain, and I hope you are too. Thanks, Gauri. It was wonderful having you on screen as well. And Pankaj, Bala, Amit. I hope to catch up with you in Gurgaon. Mahindra, I'm very bad at pronunciation, so if I'm not pronouncing the names right, don't kill me for that. Naveen, lot of blessings for your kids and a lot of happiness for you. Enjoy yourself. Everyone, thank you. Bye-bye and see you next week. All the best.